Individual ship captains started making their own decisions, many of them choosing to retreat despite the gravity wells making it difficult. Dr. Sung Min opened that the peace agreement was a trap, but humanity saw it coming. The Vrelic's flagship floated dead in space, its weapons cold and its engines silent. Human Marines in combat suits moved through its corridors, securing each section. They moved carefully, weapons ready, expecting traps or ambushes. But the Vrelic's crew had given up. They sat in their quarters or at their stations, their insect eyes watching the humans with confusion and fear. Hyunwoo Park walked through the flagship's main corridor. His boots made hollow sounds on the metal floor. Behind him came a team of soldiers and Dr. Sungmin Lee, who carried equipment for recording and translating. They were heading to the command center where the High Commander waited. The command center was enormous, designed for a species that moved on 6 legs and needed lots of space. High Commander Vrexkal stood in the middle of the room. He was bigger than the other Vrelics, his shell darker and marked with symbols that showed his rank. When Hyunwoo entered, Vrexkal turned to face him. "You should not have won," the High Commander said. His translator made his clicking voice sound almost human. 17 species we have conquered using the same method. None of them were ready.
How did you know?
Hyunwoo stopped a few meters away. Your peace offer was too perfect, too generous. In my experience, when someone offers you everything you want and asks for very little, they are lying. You asked us to trust you, but trust is earned, not given freely. Dr. Sungmin set up his equipment. "We will record everything now," he said to the High Commander. "You will tell us about the Galactic Council, about how you conquered those 17 species and about everything the Council has done. If you cooperate, your crew will be treated well." Vrexkal's antenna drooped in defeat. "What choice do I have? Kill me if you want. The Council will send another fleet. You may have won this battle, but you cannot win the war." "Let us worry about that," Hyunwoo said. "Start talking." For the next several hours, Vrexkal revealed the truth about the Galactic Council. It was not an organization of equals working together. It was a hierarchy of predators. The strongest species sat at the top, making all the decisions. The weaker species served them or were conquered. The whole structure was built on fear and force. The peace treaty scam had been perfected over 10,000 years. The Council would find a young species, one that was just starting to explore space. They would study them, learn their weaknesses, understand their hopes and dreams. Then they would offer friendship, technology, and acceptance. "Every species wants to believe they are not alone," Vrexkal explained. "Every species wants to join something bigger than themselves. We give them that dream. We let them think they are special, that we chose them as partners. While they celebrate and disarm, we prepare to invade." Dr. Sungmin asked questions while his equipment recorded everything. "How many species has the Council conquered this way?" 17 using the peace treaty method, Vrexkal answered. "But the Council has conquered hundreds of species over its history. Some we defeated in open war. Others we destroyed completely when they proved too difficult to control. The peace treaty is just the easiest method. It saves resources and ships." Hyunwoo felt anger burning in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. "Tell me about those 17 species. What happened to them?" Vrexkal accessed a computer terminal. Images appeared on the screens around the room. Alien species of all shapes and sizes, each one different and unique. "These were the species conquered through deception in the last 2,000 years, the High Commander said. "Most are now slave workers, mining resources or building ships for the Council. Some were sent to prison planets. A few were scattered across the galaxy, their civilizations broken beyond repair." Lieutenant Si-Jin Park entered the command center. She was a specialist in interrogation and information extraction. She had been working in other parts of the ship, accessing the Vrelic's computer systems. "Commander Park," she said to Hyunwoo, "you need to see what I found." She connected her portable computer to the flagship's display system. Files opened showing maps, charts, and lists. The Vrelics kept detailed records of everything. "This is a complete database of the Galactic Council's military operations, conquered worlds, and current deployments. It is everything we need to understand their entire organization." Hyunwoo studied the data. There were star charts showing hundreds of Council-controlled systems. Military deployment information showing where their fleets were stationed. Resource extraction operations on dozens of worlds. But most important, There was information about the conquered species and their current status. Some of these species tried to fight back after being conquered, Sijin explained. Look at this one, the Torvin. They are a mammalian species, similar to Earth's primates but more advanced. The Council conquered them 3,000 years ago. But according to these files, the Torvin still have resistance groups operating in secret. Dr. Sungmin looked excited. If we can contact these resistance groups, we might find allies. Vrexkal laughed, a sound like rocks clicking together. You think you can start a rebellion? The Council is too strong. Even if some conquered species join you, the Council has resources you cannot imagine. They will crush any uprising. Maybe, Hyunwoo said. But you thought you would crush Earth. And look how that turned out. Back on Earth, scientists and military leaders were studying everything captured from the Vrelix fleet. Dr. Min Seo Kang and her team examined the flagship's computer systems. Engineer Dayun Choi looked at their weapons and engines. Intelligence officer Tae Young Han analyzed their communication networks. What they found painted a picture of an empire built on lies and maintained through fear. The Galactic Council was not united by friendship or common goals. The member species stayed together because the strongest ones threatened to destroy any who tried to leave. Taeyang made the most disturbing discovery. Commander, he said during a secure video call with Hyunwoo, I found encoded messages in the flagship systems. The Council was already planning their next move even before this invasion started. They expected to conquer Earth quickly. The messages discuss using human ships and technology to attack another species they have been watching. Earth was supposed to be turned into a military base for Council expansion. Hyunwoo looked at the message transcripts, so they were not just going to enslave us. They were going to force us to help them enslave others. Exactly, Taeyang confirmed. And there is more. The Council has been preparing a second fleet. It is much larger than the first one. They are gathering ships from all their member species. According to these messages, the second fleet will arrive at Earth in approximately 90 days. Admiral Ji-won Kim called an emergency meeting of Earth's military leadership. They gathered again in the secure bunker in Geneva. The mood was serious. They had won one battle, but now they faced an even bigger threat. We cannot defend against this second fleet, Admiral Ji-won said simply. Look at the numbers. The first fleet had around 2,000 ships. The second fleet will have at least 10,000. Even with our new technology, we will be overwhelmed. A general from China spoke up. Can we run? Take as many humans as possible and flee Earth before the fleet arrives. Flee where? Asked a representative from Brazil. The Council controls most of the galaxy. Where could we hide that they would not find us? Dr. Sungmin had been thinking about something since reading Vrexkal's confession. He stood up. We cannot win by fighting alone, he said. But what if we do not fight alone? The Council conquered 17 species using lies. What if we expose those lies? What if we show the entire galaxy what the Council really is? Daeun Choi understood immediately. We have all the evidence we need. The Vrelix kept perfect records. We can prove the Council's crimes. If we broadcast that evidence across the galaxy, the conquered species will know the truth. But how does that help us? Asked a military officer. Even if they know the truth, they are still conquered. They cannot fight. Tae Young Han smiled. You would be surprised what people can do when they learn they have been lied to. According to the Vrelix files, several conquered species still have hidden military assets. They are waiting for hope, for a reason to fight back. We can give them that reason. Hyunwoo looked at Admiral Ji-won. She was the strategist, the one who saw patterns others missed. Admiral, is this possible? Can we turn the Council's conquered species against them? Ji-won studied the star charts showing Council-controlled space. She thought about everything they had learned. Finally, she nodded. It is risky. We would be starting a galaxy-wide rebellion. The Council will come at us with everything they have. But it might be our only chance. We cannot beat them alone, but together with other species, maybe we have a chance. The decision was made. Earth would not just defend itself. It would try to free every species the Council had enslaved. It was an impossible plan. Ambitious to the point of insanity, but humans had survived throughout history by doing impossible things when necessary. Hyunwoo turned to Taeyang. We need to send a message that cannot be blocked or traced. Can you do it? Taeyang grinned. I have been working on that since we captured. The peace agreement was a trap, but humanity saw it coming. Captain Dong Hyun-yoon stood on the bridge of his stealth ship, watching the Nexus relay station grow larger on his view screen. The station was enormous, a structure built over thousands of years to handle communications for the entire Galactic Council. It looked like a giant metal flower with transmission arrays spreading out in all directions. Behind his ship followed 9 others, the best stealth vessels humanity had built. Their crews were all volunteers who understood they might not come back. This mission was too important to fail. If they could reach the relay station and upload Dayun Choi's virus, the truth about the Council would spread across the entire galaxy in minutes. Status report, Dong-hyun said quietly. His sensor officer, a young woman named Hae-won, checked her instruments. We are still undetected. The stealth systems are working perfectly. But once we get closer, the station security will notice us. We will have maybe 10 minutes to get inside before every Council ship in the sector responds. Dong-hyun nodded. 10 minutes. That was not much time to break into the most secure communication facility in the galaxy, upload a virus, and escape. But it would have to be enough. Among his crew was pilot Hanul Shin. She was one of the best pilots in Earth's military, but she had volunteered for this mission for personal reasons. 5 years ago, her family died when an Earth colony ship mysteriously exploded. Everyone thought it was an accident, but after capturing the Vrelic's flagship, intelligence officers found evidence that Council agents had sabotaged the ship. They wanted to make humans afraid of space travel, to keep them trapped on Earth until the invasion. Hanul had been quiet during the journey to the relay station. Now she spoke. Captain, I have been thinking about the escape plan. What about it? Dong-hyun asked. It will not work, Hanul said simply. Once we upload the virus, the station will lock down. Every escape route will be blocked. Our stealth systems will not help us when they know exactly where we are. Dong-hyun had known this from the beginning, but he had hoped his crew would not figure it out. We will improvise, he said. Hanul smiled sadly. Captain, we all knew this was a one-way mission when we volunteered. Let us not pretend otherwise. We just need to make sure the virus uploads successfully before they stop us. The other crew members were listening. One by one, they nodded their agreement. They had all made peace with what was coming. Earth needed this mission to succeed more than it needed them to come home. Far away at Earth, Admiral Ji-won Kim watched the timer count down. The mission to the relay station was the key to everything. If Dong-hyun's team failed, Earth would face the Council's second fleet alone and probably die. If they succeeded, there was a chance, a small chance, that other species would join the fight. But success had a cost. She had commanded soldiers for 30 years, sent thousands into danger. But this felt different. She was sending 10 crews to almost certain death, and they all knew it. Dr. Minseo Kang stood beside her in the command center. The quantum communication beacons are ready, she reported. As soon as the virus activates the relay station, our beacons will create a network across all the human-controlled space. The Council will not be able to jam or block our communications. Will it be enough? Ji-won asked. Minseo did not answer immediately. I do not know, she admitted. We are betting everything on other species caring that they were lied to. But they have been conquered for centuries or millennia. Hope might be dead in them. Back at the relay station, Dong-hyun's ships approached their target. Alarms started blaring on the station as security systems detected the anomalies in space that marked stealth ships. The station's defense platforms activated weapons charging. All ships attack formation, Dong-hyun ordered. Escort ships, keep those platforms busy. My ship will reach the station and deploy the boarding team. The space around the relay station erupted in fire. The human ships dropped their stealth and opened fire on the defense platforms. The platforms were designed to stop large fleets, not small fast ships attacking from unexpected angles. Still, there were many of them, and they had powerful weapons. 2 of the escort ships were destroyed in the first minute of fighting. Their explosions lit up space bright enough to be seen from planets light years away. But their sacrifice bought time. Dong-hyun's ship reached the station's hull and attached itself with magnetic locks. The boarding team, wearing heavy armor and carrying cutting tools, made a hole in the station's outer wall. They entered a maintenance corridor, their boots clanging on metal floors. Station alarms were screaming. They could hear the sound of blast doors slamming shut throughout the structure. Move fast, Dong-hyun urged. We need to reach the central computer core before they lock us out completely. They ran through corridors, following the station blueprints that Tae Yang Han had stolen from Council databases. They encountered station security, Alien guards who fired energy weapons. The human soldiers fired back. The battle was short and brutal. The humans had better armor and were desperate. They pushed through. Hanul stayed with her ship, ready to provide covering fire for the escape that everyone knew was not going to happen. She watched her sensors as more council ships arrived, responding to the station's distress call. A lot of ships. Too many ships. She opened a channel to Dong-hyun. "Captain, you have 5 minutes maximum. After that, the council fleet will be in position to destroy the station with us inside it." "Understood," Dong-hyun replied. His voice was calm despite the sound of weapons fire in the background. The boarding team reached the computer core. It was a vast room filled with servers and processing units, the brain of the entire communication network. Engineer So-young Kim immediately started connecting her equipment to the system. Her fingers moved across holographic keyboards at incredible speed. "They are trying to shut me out," So-young reported. "The station AI is fighting me. I need more time." "Time we do not have," Dong-hyun said. He could see on his suit display that council soldiers were closing in on their position. "How long?" 3 minutes if everything goes perfect. 5 if they keep fighting me." Dong-hyun made a decision. "The rest of you fall back to the entry point. Hold the corridor. Buy So-young the time she needs." The other soldiers looked at him. They knew what he was really saying. "Hold until they die so the mission can succeed." They nodded and moved to defensive positions in the corridor leading to the computer core. The council soldiers came in waves. They were professional warriors from multiple species, trained and equipped with the best technology. The humans were outnumbered 10 to 1. But the humans were fighting for something the council soldiers could not understand. They were fighting for every species the council had lied to, for every civilization that had been conquered through deception. One by one, the human soldiers fell. But each one that fell took several council soldiers with them. The corridor became a tomb for both sides. Still, the council kept coming, kept pushing forward. In the computer core, So-young worked frantically. "I am through their first defense layer. Second layer breaking. Come on, come on." Dong-hyun was the last soldier standing in the corridor. His armor was damaged, one arm not responding. A dozen council soldiers were advancing toward him, their weapons trained on his position. Behind him, So-young needed just a few more seconds. He thought about Earth, about the families and friends he would never see again. He thought about Hanul's family, killed by council sabotage. He thought about the 17 species the council had enslaved. Then he stepped out from cover and charged at the enemy. They cut him down immediately, but his sacrifice bought the time needed. "Upload complete," So-young shouted. Then she heard the sound of council soldiers entering the computer core. She had time to smile before everything went dark. Across the galaxy, every communication device connected to the council network suddenly activated. On hundreds of worlds, on thousands of ships, in millions of homes, the same message started playing. It began with Vrexkel's confession, the High Commander explaining how the peace treaty scam worked. Then came the evidence, 10,000 years of records showing every lie, every conquest, every species destroyed or enslaved. The message showed the Torvan, the mammalian species conquered 3,000 years ago. It showed their beautiful cities before the invasion and the slave camps after. It showed the Nessic, whose water world was being drained to supply council industries. It showed species after species, each one believing they were joining something great, each one discovering too late they were victims. Then the message showed Earth's battle. It showed how humans had seen through the deception, prepared in secret, and defeated the invasion fleet. It showed that resistance was possible, that the council was not invincible. The final part of the message was a call to action. Commander Hyun-woo Park appeared, speaking directly to every conquered species. "The Galactic Council is built on lies. They offered us peace and planned to enslave us, but we were ready. We fought back, and we won. Now we call on every species under council control to do the same. Fight back, resist, you are not alone anymore. Humanity will help you. Together we can end the council's tyranny and build something real, something based on truth instead of deception." The peace agreement was a trap, but humanity saw it coming. The sky above Earth turned dark at exactly noon. It was not clouds that blocked the sun. It was ships. Thousands of alien warships appeared out of nowhere, their hulls blocking out the light. They came from hyperspace in perfect formation, surrounding the planet like wolves around wounded prey. On Earth, people looked up in confusion, then fear. The alien ships they had learned to trust, the ones that brought gifts and promises of friendship, were now joined by a massive war fleet. The pretty diplomatic vessels were gone, replaced by battleships covered in weapons. A message came through every communication device on Earth. Every television, every radio, every phone received the same transmission. The voice belonged to the Vrelic's High Commander. His words were translated into every human language, but the meaning was clear even without translation. "Humans of Earth," the voice said, clicking and buzzing with satisfaction. "Your time as an independent species is over. The Galactic Council claims this world and all its resources. You will surrender immediately. Your people will be relocated to work facilities across the galaxy. Resistance will result in the complete destruction of your cities. You have 1 hour to respond." In homes across Earth, families held each other and cried. Politicians who had celebrated the peace agreement now realized their mistake. News reporters who had praised the aliens now broadcast messages of despair. It seemed like the end of everything. But in the secret command center inside the hollow asteroid, Hyunwoo Park was calm. He had been waiting for this moment for 6 months. Around him, displays showed the alien fleet positioning itself for orbital bombardment. The aliens were confident. They thought Earth was helpless. Admiral Ji-won Kim stood at the tactical station, her fingers moving across holographic controls. "All ships report ready," she said. "All defense platforms are online. Ground forces are in position." Dr. Sungmin Lee was at the communication station. He had been chosen to deliver humanity's response. Hyunwoo nodded to him. "Send it, Doctor." Sungmin opened a channel to the alien fleet. His voice was steady and cold. "High Commander, we have received your message. Here is our response. On Earth, people waited for their leaders to surrender. The aliens waited to hear humans beg for mercy. Instead, space itself seemed to come alive. From behind the moon, 200 human warships powered on their engines. These were not the old destroyers the aliens had watched being destroyed. These were new vessels, built in secret, carrying weapons the Council had never seen. Their hulls were painted black to blend with space. Their systems used technology that combined human innovation with captured alien designs. From the asteroid belt, where the aliens thought humans only had mining operations, hundreds of fighters launched. Each one was piloted by someone who had trained for this exact moment. They moved in formations the Council had never encountered before, using tactics humans had practiced in secret for months. From deep beneath Earth's oceans, missile platforms rose to the surface. The aliens had been told these were destroyed. They were wrong. The missiles launched upward, their engines burning bright enough to be seen from orbit. Admiral Ji-won's voice came through the fleet communication system. "All ships, this is Admiral Kim. You know what the aliens did to 17 other species? They will do the same to us if we fail. Today, we show them that humanity fights back. For Earth, for freedom. Attack." The alien fleet was caught completely by surprise. Their sensors had shown Earth as defenseless. Now they faced a military that appeared out of nowhere. The Council ships scrambled to respond, but the humans struck first. Captain Bo-Ra Song commanded the carrier Incheon's Fury. Her ship launched its entire fighter wing in less than 30 seconds. The small craft hit the alien formation like a swarm of angry wasps. They targeted the Collective's drone ships, the automated vessels that formed the Council's first line of defense. Bo-Ra had studied the Collective's tactics for months. She knew they relied on their drones working together like a hive mind, so her fighters did not spread out to engage individual drones. Instead, they focused all their fire on the central control ship. When it exploded, hundreds of drones suddenly stopped coordinating. They became easy targets. On another part of the battlefield, Commander Jae-sung-oh led a squadron of stealth ships. These vessels were Da-un Choi's masterpiece. They could hide from almost any sensor the Council had. Jae-sung brought his ships right into the middle of the alien formation before firing. The Council warships suddenly found themselves under attack from inside their own lines. Confusion spread through the alien fleet. Their commanders shouted orders, trying to figure out where the humans were hiding. But by the time they understood, 3 of their battleships were already damaged. The Vrelics tried to use their speed advantage. Their ships were faster than the old human vessels they had studied, but these new human ships moved differently. Da-Un had designed them with engines that could change direction instantly. When a Vrelic's cruiser tried to dodge, a human destroyer was already waiting where the alien ship turned. High in orbit, the gravity well generators that Dr. Min Seo Kang designed activated. Suddenly, ships trying to escape into hyperspace found they could not. The space around Earth became a trap. The Council fleet could not run away. They would have to fight. The battle was chaos. Explosions lit up the sky like fireworks. Debris from destroyed ships rained down, burning up in Earth's atmosphere. Every few seconds, another ship on one side or the other exploded or went dark. But the humans had an advantage the aliens did not expect. The Council had fought many species, but always against opponents who were surprised and unprepared. Humans had trained for this fight. Every pilot knew their role. Every ship captain had practiced these exact maneuvers. Admiral Jiwan had planned for every possible Council tactic. The Orthan brought their crystal warships forward. These ships could take enormous damage because their crystalline hulls repaired themselves. Human weapons that would destroy normal ships barely scratched the Orthan vessels. But humans had prepared for this too. Lieutenant Min Jae Park commanded a weapons platform hidden on the dark side of the moon. His team had built a special weapon based on sonic technology. It did not try to break the Orthan crystals with force. Instead, it made them vibrate at just the right frequency. The crystal ships started to shake themselves apart from the inside. The Siskrath, the reptilian warriors the Council brought as shock troops, tried to launch boarding parties. Their ships got close to human vessels and fired pods full of soldiers toward the human hulls. But every human ship had been prepared for this. Automated defense systems, small guns that tracked the boarding pods shot them down before they could attach. Still, some Siskrath made it through. They cut into the hull of the destroyer Gwangju's Pride and began fighting the crew inside. The human soldiers were outnumbered and outmatched in physical strength. The Siskrath were bigger, stronger, and had natural armor. But Sergeant Yuna Shin had been waiting for this. She and her team had trained in hand-to-hand combat against simulated Siskrath for months. They knew the reptilians were stronger in direct combat, so they did not fight directly. They used the ship's corridors against the aliens, ambushes, traps, and tactics that turned strength into a disadvantage. Within an hour, the Siskrath boarding party was eliminated. The space battle raged for 3 hours. The Council kept throwing more ships into the fight, but they were fighting in conditions they had never trained for. Every time they thought they understood human tactics, the humans did something unexpected. Hyunwoo watched the battle displays, making decisions that could save or doom humanity. When a group of Relics ships tried to break through to attack Earth directly, he sent Bo-Ra's fighters to intercept. When the Orthan attempted to regroup, he ordered the sonic weapons to target their formation. Every move he made was calculated to keep the aliens off balance. Finally, Admiral Jiwan saw the opening they needed. The Council's command ship, the massive flagship that coordinated the entire invasion fleet, had moved too far forward trying to direct the battle. It was surrounded by other ships, but there was a gap in their formation. All stealth ships, this is Admiral Kim. Target is the flagship. You are authorized for maximum firepower. Commander Jae Sung. Oh smiled inside his helmet. His squadron had been saving their most powerful weapons for this moment. 6 stealth ships invisible to Council sensors moved toward the flagship. They got within firing range without being detected. The weapons they carried were not elegant. Da-Un had designed them using the principle that sometimes simple was better than complex. They were essentially giant explosive rounds propelled at extremely high speed. The stealth ships fired simultaneously. The Council flagship's shields could stop energy weapons and missiles. But these projectiles hit with so much kinetic force that physics did not care about shields. 6 massive impacts struck the flagship within 2 seconds of each other. The ship's hull ruptured in multiple places. The flagship did not explode. It was too well built for that. But it went dark, its systems failing. Without the flagship coordinating them, the Council fleet lost its cohesion. The peace agreement was a trap. But humanity saw it coming. The world celebrated as the first human warship was destroyed. Cameras from every news network pointed at the old destroyer as it was cut apart by plasma torches. The alien observers watched carefully, their various eyes recording everything. They seemed satisfied. On every continent, humans threw parties to celebrate the new era of peace. But in a facility 300 meters below the Pacific Ocean, engineer Dayun Choi was building something the aliens would never see. She was a short woman with oil stains permanently under her fingernails. Her team worked around the clock in the secret base, welding and assembling parts that should not exist yet. Dayun held up a piece of strange metal. It had come from an alien ship that attacked Earth 15 years ago, before the Galactic Council arrived. Earth kept that attack secret from the rest of the galaxy. The alien ship had been taken apart piece by piece, its technology studied and copied. Now Dayun was using what humanity learned to build new weapons. The problem with the Council's technology, Dayun explained to her team, is that it has a back door. Dr. Minseo found it last week. Every faster-than-light drive they give us has a hidden code. They can shut down any ship using their technology whenever they want. So we are not using their drives. We are using our own design based on the old wreckage. Her second-in-command, a young man named Taeho, looked worried. But our design is slower. Their ships can travel faster than ours, Dayun smiled. Speed is not everything. A knife in the right place beats a fast fist every time. She pointed to the ship frame they were building. It was smaller than the old Earth destroyers, but packed with weapons that combined human and alien technology in ways no one had tried before. High above the ocean, in orbit around Earth, old defense satellites were being moved away just as the aliens demanded. The Vrelix and Orthan observers watched and recorded. They sent reports back to the Galactic Council saying that humans were cooperating fully. What they did not see were the new satellites being moved into position on the dark side of the moon. These new satellites did not look like weapons. They looked like communication relays and scientific equipment. But inside each one was enough firepower to destroy a small fleet. In Seoul, Intelligence Officer Tae Yang Han sat in a dark room surrounded by computer screens. He was very good at finding secrets. Before the aliens came, he found spies from other countries. Now he was hunting for alien secrets. For 3 months, he tried to break into the Galactic Council's communication network. It was difficult. Their encryption was more advanced than anything humans had created. Then he got lucky. One of the Vrelix observers made a mistake. The observer used an old encryption key to send a message, probably because he was tired or lazy. Tae Yang caught it. With that one key, he could start reading some of the alien messages. What he found made his blood run cold. The aliens were talking about Earth like it was already conquered. They discussed which human cities would be best for resource extraction. They debated whether humans would make good workers or if they should be sent to prison planets. One message talked about Harvest Day and how everything was going according to plan. Tae Yang sent everything he found to Hyunwoo immediately. The commander read the messages 3 times, his face getting darker with each reading. He called an emergency meeting with Admiral Ji-won and Dr. Sung Min. They met in a secure bunker in Geneva, Switzerland. The bunker was built during the last World War and updated with technology that could block alien sensors. Inside, Earth's real leadership gathered. Not the politicians who smiled for cameras, but the military commanders and scientists who would actually fight if war came. Hyunwoo showed them Tae Yang's discovery. The room went quiet. Finally, Admiral Ji-won spoke. So we were right. This peace agreement is just a way to make us weak before they attack. Dr. Sungmin was shaking with anger. 17 species, he said, reading from one of the messages. They have done this to 17 other civilizations. They offer peace, wait for the species to disarm, then invade. We are just number 18 to them. A general from Russia asked the question everyone was thinking. Can we win? If they have done this 17 times before, they must have a very strong military. Dayun Choi had been invited to this meeting because of her work on the new weapons. She stood up and connected her tablet to the room's display. I cannot promise we will win, she said honestly, but I can promise we will make them regret trying. Look at what we have built. The screen showed designs for the new human fleet. There were warships that could fire weapons the aliens had never seen. There were stealth ships that could hide from alien sensors. There were fighter craft small and fast enough to dodge anything the Council could throw at them. Every design used human creativity combined with alien technology in unexpected ways. The Council thinks they know what human military looks like, Daun explained. They studied our old ships, our old tactics. Everything we are building now is different. We have been learning from them while pretending to cooperate. Their own technology gave us the ideas we needed to beat it. Dr. Minseo Kang joined the presentation. She was a quantum physicist, one of the smartest scientists on Earth. The Council's faster-than-light technology is impressive, she said. But it has weaknesses. I have found a way to create gravity wells that can trap ships when they try to jump to light speed. We can build generators that will turn the space around Earth into a cage. Any Council ship that tries to escape will be stuck. Admiral Jiwan looked at the timeline on the wall. We have 3 more months before the 6-month deadline. The aliens expect us to be completely disarmed by then. That is probably when they will attack. Can we have enough ready by that time? Dae-Yoon did quick calculations on her tablet. If we work day and night, yes. We have secret facilities on the moon, in the asteroid belt, underwater and hidden in mountains. We have been building for 3 months already. In 3 more months, we can have a fleet of 200 new warships, 500 fighters, and all the defensive systems we need. Hyunwoo made the final decision. Then that is what we do. We continue the act. We keep smiling at the aliens and destroying our old equipment where they can see. We let them think we are naive and trusting. But we prepare for the worst day in human history, and when they attack, we show them that humanity did not survive this long by being easy prey. The meeting ended with everyone knowing their jobs. The scientists would keep building better weapons. The intelligence officers would keep reading alien messages. The military would train with the new ships in secret places where alien observers would never see. And the politicians would keep smiling and shaking hands with the enemy. Over the next 3 months, humanity lived 2 lives. The public life was full of hope and celebration. Humans learned alien languages. They tried alien food. They watched videos about the Galactic Council and all its member species. They dreamed about exploring the stars as part of a great galactic family. The secret life was very different. In hidden bases, soldiers trained for combat against enemies that could move faster and hit harder than anything humans had fought before. Engineers built weapons that bent the rules of physics. Scientists studied every piece of alien technology they could find, looking for weaknesses. Tai Yang kept breaking alien codes. He found out that the Council's invasion fleet was already gathering. It was waiting at a staging point just a few light years from Earth. The fleet was enormous, with ships from multiple species. The Council was not taking any chances. They wanted to crush Earth quickly and completely. He also found something else. Some of the messages mentioned other species that had resisted the Council's invasion. A few had even won their first battle before being overwhelmed by reinforcements. The Council learned from each fight. They studied how each species defended themselves and adapted their tactics. That was how they had conquered 17 civilizations. They learned from their enemies and became stronger. But Tae-Yang noticed something the aliens had not considered. Every species they had tricked before fought alone. None of them had warning. None of them had time to prepare. None of them saw the trap until it closed. Humanity was different. Humanity knew the attack was coming. That changed everything. As the 6-month deadline approached, Hyunwoo stood in the secret command center built inside a hollow asteroid. Around him, holographic displays showed Earth's real military. The new ships were beautiful and deadly. They hung in space like sleeping sharks waiting for the signal to wake up. Admiral Jiwan came to stand beside him. The last alien observer just reported that Earth's disarmament is complete, she said. They think we are defenseless now, Hyunwoo smiled. It was not a nice smile. Good, let them think that. Let them come. We will teach the Galactic Council something they should have learned long ago. Never assume humans are easy prey. The peace agreement was a trap, but humanity saw it coming. The massive alien ships appeared above Earth without warning. They were huge, each one the size of a small city. Their hulls shimmered with colors that human eyes had never seen before. The whole world watched as the ships took position around the planet, blocking out the sun in some places. Commander Hyunwoo Park stood in the United Earth Defense Council headquarters, staring at the screens showing the alien fleet. He was a tall man with gray starting to show in his black hair. His uniform was crisp and clean, but his eyes showed worry. Next to him stood Admiral Jiwan Kim, a woman known throughout Earth's military as the smartest strategist alive. She crossed her arms and watched the ships carefully. The aliens sent a message. It came in every language humans spoke. The message was simple and clear. They called themselves the Galactic Council. They said they came in peace. They wanted to offer Earth something special, something they had never offered to such a young species before. They wanted Earth to join them as equals. Dr. Sung-Min Lee, Earth's best expert on alien languages, listened to the message over and over. He was a thin man who wore thick glasses and always carried a tablet. He noticed something strange about how the aliens spoke. Their words said friendship, but their tone said something else. He could not explain it, but something felt wrong. The aliens came down to meet Earth's leaders. They landed in Geneva, where the old United Nations building still stood. Two types of aliens walked out of their ship. The first were called the Vrelics. They looked like giant insects with 6 legs and huge black eyes. Their bodies were covered in hard shells that clicked when they moved. The second were the Orthon. They looked like walking crystals, their bodies made of something that looked like glass but much stronger. Light passed through them in strange ways. The meeting hall was full of Earth's most important people. Presidents, prime ministers, generals, and scientists all gathered to hear what the aliens would say. The Vrelics spoke first. Their language sounded like clicking and buzzing, but machines translated it into human speech. They told Earth about the Galactic Council, an organization of hundreds of alien species all working together for peace and progress. The offer seemed too good to be true. The aliens would give Earth technology that would change everything. Faster than light travel that would let humans reach the stars. Medical technology that could cure any disease. Energy systems that would end all pollution. They would open trade routes and share knowledge that took other species millions of years to learn. Earth would have access to thousands of worlds and become part of something bigger than anyone had dreamed. There was only one requirement. Earth had to show trust. The aliens said that war was not allowed in the Galactic Council. To join, Earth would need to reduce its military. Not all of it, but most of it. 70% of Earth's warships would need to be destroyed. All the defense satellites floating around Earth would need to be moved far away. The aliens said this was necessary to show that humans were serious about peace. The crowd in the meeting hall erupted in cheers. Finally, humanity would not be alone in the universe. They would have friends among the stars. The politicians started planning celebrations. News reporters rushed to broadcast the good news to the whole world, but Hyunwoo did not cheer. He stood in the back of the room watching the aliens carefully. Admiral Ji-won stood next to him, her face blank and unreadable. Dr. Sung-min was typing frantically on his tablet, recording every movement the aliens made. After the meeting, the three of them met in a secure room deep underground. Hyunwoo spoke first. "Something is wrong," he said simply. The others nodded. Dr. Sung-min showed them his tablet. "I have been watching how they move, how they speak. When humans lie, we show small signs. Our eyes move in certain ways. Our bodies tense up. These aliens have different bodies, but I've studied them for years from the few contacts we had before. They are excited, but not the way someone gets excited about making new friends. They are excited the way someone gets when a plan is working." Admiral Ji-won pulled up a document on the main screen. "The timeline bothers me," she said. 6 months. They want us to destroy 70% of our military in just 6 months. Why so fast? If this is really about peace, why not give us time to adjust? Why not let us reduce slowly over years? Hyunwoo looked at the numbers. Earth had built a strong military over the past 100 years, ever since the first time aliens had visited. That first contact had not gone well. A small alien ship had attacked one of Earth's space stations, killing everyone on board. Humans fought back and destroyed the alien ship. After that, Earth decided to always be ready for trouble from space. Now these new aliens wanted Earth to give up that protection. They said the galaxy was safe now, that the Galactic Council kept order, but Hyunwoo had been a soldier for 30 years. He knew that people or aliens did not give away powerful technology for free. There was always a cost. "We need more information," Admiral Ji-won said, "but we cannot let them know we suspect anything. If this is a trap and they know we see it, they might attack now while we are still ready to fight." Dr. Sung-min agreed. "I will keep studying them. Every movement, every word. If they are lying, I will find proof." Hyunwoo made a decision. "We accept their offer publicly. We smile and shake their hands or claws or whatever they have. We start destroying old ships where they can see. But secretly, we prepare for war. If I am wrong and they really are friendly, then we lose nothing. We can always build the military back up later. But if I am right, if this is a trap, then we need to be ready. The next day, Earth's leaders announced they would accept the Galactic Council's offer. The aliens seemed very pleased. They said they would send observers to watch the disarmament process. They would help Earth understand the new technology. They would begin teaching humans about the galaxy and its many wonders. Hyunwoo watched the aliens celebrate with Earth's politicians. He saw how the Vrelics moved their antenna in a certain way. He saw how the Orthans' bodies seemed to pulse with light a bit faster. Dr. Sungmin saw it too and sent Hyunwoo a message on his secure communicator. They are not happy we accepted. They are happy we fell for it. That night, Admiral Ji-won activated an old protocol. It was called Protocol Baekdu, named after the mountain on Korea's border. The protocol was designed years ago by paranoid generals who believed aliens would one day try to trick humanity. Most people thought it was a waste of time and resources. Now it might save Earth. Secret messages went out to trusted military commanders around the world. Hidden facilities that most governments did not even know about suddenly came alive with activity. In asteroid mines far from Earth, in deep ocean bases and hidden valleys on the moon, people started building something new. Earth's public face showed joy and cooperation. But beneath the surface, humanity was getting ready for war. The question was whether they would be ready in time. The aliens had given them 6 months. Hyunwoo hoped it would be enough.